Hello friends, fellow explorers, and those who wander. My name is Chris, and I am your guide. And today, we're going on adventure. In fact, we're going on islands of adventure. That's a lot of adventure. So, a little brief history, and kind of talk about why we're here. So, a couple of things is, first off, Islands of Adventure opened in 1999, almost said 2000. 1999. About a few years after Universal Studios opened. And actually, it's funny, the land that we're on right now, it actually was designated to be a shopping mall in 1985, but obviously that plan changed. And this is now the second gate, as they call it in the industry, for Universal Studios. The third being Volcano Bay, and then the fourth one being the new Epic Universe that they're opening in a couple of years. So the premise here is that you have different islands or different areas that you can explore. So as you go clockwise on the park, you have Marvel Superhero Island, you have Toon Lagoon, you have Skull Island, which features King Kong, you have Jurassic Park, you have Hogsmeade, which features Hogwarts Castle. You have Lost Continent, and then finally you have Seuss Landing. So we're going to go around all of them, but there's one in particular I want to talk about. So Toon Lagoon. So we're going to go around there and we're going to look at different things, and the reason being is not many people know this, is when the park was originally conceived, it was going to be called Cartoon World. And they actually had struck up deals with Warner Brothers to get all the Warner Brothers cartoons, plus also too they had all DC had their agreement with Warner Brothers, so they were going to get all the DC comic characters, and then also they had a deal with King Syndicate, which does a lot of comic strips and things like that. Then one of their more famous characters is Popeye, which we'll see him in a little bit too. But obviously that plan changed over time. They wanted more diversity in the land and things like that, and as such they scrapped that idea and they went with Islands of Adventure, have a more wide property, especially things that Universal owned over time, opening it up to Jurassic Park and things like that. But the thing is, they still had some of the contracts, like the Warner Brothers contract that kind of fell through, and I think Warner Brothers actually inked a deal later with Six Flags. But Universal still had a contract with King Syndicate, and so they're like, okay, what can we do with all this stuff? And as such, they made Toon Lagoon. So here's the thing though, as we're going to go around, we'll see. They have a lot of comic strip characters that are in the land, but unless you're really up on your comic strips, you probably have no idea who they are. So we're going to do a little quiz later on, see if you're up on your comic strip characters, and it's called Name That Toon, or Can You Name the Toon, or something that is not copywritten by someone else. So, but in the meantime, we're going to walk around, we're going to have some fun, explore a little bit, and have some fun. All right, let's go. So for those of you who have never been here before, the first place you get into when you come here is called the Port of Entry. And it's really cool. They have it like designed like a portside village, kind of like in the time of Arabian Nights and Sinbad and stuff like that. It's really cool, some of the architecture here. Let's go check it out. So just to let you know, in future I'll probably do a more in-depth video for each of the lands and, you know, just Islands of Adventure in general. But this is kind of a quick, I have a target on this one to do the Toon quiz, so let's keep going though. Even inside the shop, they try to carry through some of the theming, kind of like a trade port. That is until you get to all the Harry Potter merchandise, and then basically it's just a version of Harry Potter. I really like that fountain. That's really cool, using the clams. I guess you could call that water on the half shell. Hey, stick around, it gets better. So So, point of reference, when you walk through the port of entry and you keep going straight, eventually you'll come to this lagoon here, basically. And some people have asked, okay, well, you know, this is just kind of a lovely body of water, but it doesn't, you know, it doesn't have any like nighttime shows or fireworks or anything like that. What's the deal? Well, the thing is, and I've told by team members, this is essentially a natural body of water. This was here when the park was built. And because of that, it doesn't have a concrete floor, essentially. And as such, they can't put anything in the water that could be potentially poisonous and seep into the water table. So, yeah, I think they have some fountains in there, but that's about it. So for the most part, though, the lagoon just stays en natural, if it were. Now, I know I introduced the different lands in clockwise order, but for my purposes here, I'm actually going to walk through them counterclockwise. And so Toon Lagoon will be one of the last places I hit, just for the purposes of this video. So as I'm walking into Seuss Landing, it looks like Seussical is down for refurbishment, and so is If I Ran the Zoo. But, you know, it's not closed. Green eggs and ham. Yes, we're definitely gonna get some of this. And as you can see, as you walk around, it's pretty much a tot-based menu. Except for the hash. Oh wait, it still has tots. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Alright. Ooh, ah. Yes, I will eat them in the park. I will eat them when it's not dark. Sure, that works. So as you saw, the eggs are kind of greenish. You know, it's like a scrambled egg, and then they put some green stuff in there, but still looks pretty good. We'll check it out. So I wanted to make sure I got a little egg, little ham, little tot, and little cheesy sauce. It's actually really good. I didn't know what to expect, to be frank with you. It's actually really good. Wow. Yeah, it's cool. Like the eggs give a nice texture to it, and all the flavors are really good. Okay, I'm gonna finish this. Enjoy, or I will. Over here at Green Eggs and Ham, they have some tables, and while you're sitting there enjoying your lunch, you can watch the Sneetches on the beaches. That was really good. I was really surprised. I mean, plus also, I mean, I love eggs. I mean, I would literally eat eggs every meal of the day if I could sort it out, which I may have done during COVID a few times. Yeah, sure, come on in. Look, we have people and friends with us. So, anyways, as we continue to walk through Seuss, looks like Cat in the Hat has a pretty short wait time, so let's pop on that real quick. 5 minutes? Yeah, definitely. So on Dr. Seuss, it's basically a retelling of the story, and from what I remember, there's a lot of spinning in this thing, so I'm all about that. No, 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 said our fish. He shouldn't be out. He should not be here when your mother is out. Shut up, fish. We're gonna have some fun. Ho ho hum, just an ordinary window, nothing happening here. Wait a second. Here we go. By the way, if you didn't know, after you eat, the best kind of ride to go on is one that spins. Because, whoa, it's starting already.
He should not be about when your mother is out. Look at me, I'm the cat, with a cup and a cake on the top of my head.
So much spinning! That was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's just a fun spinny ride and stuff. So, like I said, I'm going to do another video and we'll go into detail, go on pretty much all the rides at one point or another. But in the meantime, we'll continue on. Next land is Lost Continent. Before I head out of Seuss Landing, I mean, they really did a good job of capturing, you know, that whole Dr. Seuss style that you see in the books and stuff. Even the trains. And just like that, we are in the Lost Continent. So when Islands opened originally in 1999, Lost Continent was actually one of the original lands that they had here. And this is obviously before Harry Potter and all that stuff. And it featured actually a lot more than it currently does. So right now its main signature piece is Poseidon's Fury, which is like, you know, it's a cool little projection water show. And they have a great restaurant here called Mythos. But before, it used to have a Dueling Dragons roller coaster, which got converted into Hagrid's ride. And then also they used to have a great theater show called Sinbad, but the theater's still there. They just don't do the show anymore, sadly. I have to say that like the architecture for Poseidon's Fury is quite impressive. It's quite a facade they have there. As we're walking through Lost Continent, we can see, I mean, they have a lot of the same stylings that they did at Port of Entry, you know, kind of like the little Middle Eastern fantasy type of architecture. Very, very pretty. Sadly, this is all that remains of the Sinbad show that they had. It was a really cool stunt show back in the day. I mean, they had fire gags and falling in water and all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, the theater is still there, so hopefully they'll bring it back to life one day. And as we continue on, we enter Hogsmeade. And they have the Hogwarts Express with a conductor today, and off in the distance, of course, is Hogwarts itself. Cool, cool. So tell me, how are the trains running today, sir?
Yeah, we've had a bit of a Dementor problem on board today. That's not actually my fault. So, you know, that's a ministry decision. They put Dementors on. They belong in Azkaban. But other than that, we are running on time today. As you can see right here, it says, well, we're going a bit late, actually. But we'll be back on time shortly, though.
Okay, we'll probably make up time, though, when we're, like, on the way and stuff.
Yeah, it's a 7-hour journey here down to London, but it feels like 5 minutes. It goes by very quickly.
Good. Okay, well, I'll make sure to get my ticket now.
Yeah, absolutely, you should, yeah. And we start running at 6 o'clock today, so you've got a few minutes left to get over there.
I better get going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Cheers.
Bye now.
I think it's really great how they do the snow and all that on the buildings. I've never been here for Christmas, but I'd like to definitely come. As you're in Hogsmeade, that mostly means one thing, and that, of course, is butterbeer. Yeah, when it's about 90 degrees in the afternoon, frozen butterbeer, perfect. The best thing about Hogswort, or should I say the Forbidden Journey, is the fact that they have a single rider line, which means, of course, well, you know. Well, that's a bummer. I guess we're not going to ride Hogwarts. And as John Hammond would say, welcome to Jurassic Park. Well, that's a bummer. I was going to show you guys Velocicoaster because it's insane, but apparently it's closed also. Oh well. At least I'll show you the tracks. So here's something that a lot of people don't know. When you walk down the path going to Velocicoaster, you will see 2 different Velociraptors on either side of the path. This is actually a tribute to the old Dueling Dragons ride that used to be here. That's kind of fun. Like they opened it right back up as soon as I got up to it. Yeah, they opened the queue as soon as I got up to the entrance here. So I've ridden Velocicoaster. I made the mistake though, the first time I rode it, I actually got in the front seat, and it's insane. Like this hill that you see right here, okay, so I don't know how tall that is, it's huge, but there's a 70-mile-an-hour launch just before you get to that, and yeah, this is crazy. And there's like one inversion you do when you're over the water in the lagoon here. I'll show you from a distance, but that was one of the many times that I literally lifted out of my seat. It was crazy, but so much fun. Okay, Single just opened back up. I think I'm gonna do it. Unfortunately though, I can't bring my camera on, so you'll have to get a report afterwards. So to give you an idea what the premise is this is based in Jurassic World, like we saw the movies recently, and essentially Claire has had a great idea to open a roller coaster in the middle of the raptor paddock. So essentially you're racing raptors the whole time. This ride is scary as hell, but it's amazing. I love this statue of the raptors that in the background you got a little roller coaster in the back. All right, camera's got to go in the locker. Okay, here's the thing I will say about that coaster. It doesn't let up. From the first launch until you get off, it just is non-stop. And like, you know, sometimes like on a coaster, you'll get a second lift hill. It's like, okay, we're calming down for a second, stuff like that. Nope, no, it is going the entire time at full speed. And you're praying for the moment it ends. But it's so much thinking fun. Yeah, I mean, I've lost count how many times I was lifted out of my seat. It's insane, but so much fun. All right, let's continue on. I mean, you gotta love the classics. Ah! All right, so after we leave Jurassic Park, then we enter the world of Skull Island and the Reign of Kong. That's a big old monkey. All right, and as we enter Toon Lagoon, basically our destination, if it were, we're gonna look at a few things. So, as I said, King Syndicate signed that deal with Universal, and as such, they still basically had rights to the characters. So they figured, let's put them in Toon Lagoon. So we're gonna go around. I'm gonna take a video of the different characters that are here. You're gonna have 5 seconds to see if you can identify them. So, ready? Here we go. And some of them, by the way, are gonna be pretty easy. But some of them, I had to look them up myself. Okay, so I just thought of something. Maybe naming the characters is a little hard. So for each question, you get 2 points. If you can name the character, there's 1. And if you can name the comic strip or where it came from, that's 2. Some of them will be automatic because, well, they share the name with the comic strip. One of the cool things about Toon Lagoon is they have this path that's like right on the lagoon, which basically no one knows about, and so like no one's ever barely here. And it's really a great view of the park. Very peaceful if you need a break. One thing that's really neat that they do here in Toon Lagoon also is basically they have the same background music playing everywhere, but as you approach different buildings, they do different things that are signature to them to kind of play along with the song. For example, when you walk by Beetle Bailey, you can hear a trumpet. It's very cool. I like it. I would have included this fountain, but it's basically a bunch of dogs from different comics, so that wouldn't be fair, would it? This one doesn't have any characters, but you may be able to figure it out still. you go. Here's a bonus image for you. How'd you do? I have to be honest, I kind of lost track while I was filming, so I'm gonna have to go back and recount and keep the score that way. So, anyways, hope you had fun with that. All right, so now we're leaving Toon Lagoon. We're heading to Marvel Superheroes. So as we come here, a lot of people get confused about this land. They sometimes wonder, okay, well, wait a second, Disney now owns Marvel, so how does Universal, man, it's loud, how does Universal have Marvel now that it's Disney? Well, here's the thing, it was done well before Disney acquired Marvel and the MCU basically became a thing. Because if you notice, when you look around, it's all classic comic book characters. It's none of the MCU, with the exception of inside the gift shops. They'll have some MCU characters, but for the most part, it's classic. You know, classic Marvel characters and stuff like that. So, which is kind of fun. So let's see if we can see if maybe they're doing a meet and greet. Let's look around. I was gonna try to hop on Spider-Man real quick because they also have a single rider, but unfortunately, they've closed down single rider for the night. It's 7:30. The park closes at 9, so I guess closing it down. That's all right. There's always tomorrow. So if you've watched the new Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness movie, you'll notice that there's a cameo by Patrick Stewart in there playing Dr. Charles Xavier. But he's not playing the version that he played in the past. He's actually playing, if you notice, the yellow wheelchair that he's got going on. He's actually playing the classic edition. In fact, this is actually one of the things that they based the Fox television show on back in the 90s, I think. And it actually, as soon as he enters, no spoiler coming, just FYI. But when he does his entrance, they actually play the theme from the Fox television version of X-Men, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like they have a Fantastic car here from the Fantastic Four that you can do a photo op and just hang out in stuff. But hopefully we're going to see the Fantastic Four in the MCU pretty soon. Incredible Hulk is one of the other coasters they have here and at Islands of Adventure, and it's fantastic also. And they also have a single rider. Oh, you can't see it? Maybe you can, I don't know. So maybe one last ride before we head out. And this is another one where you need to put your stuff in the locker. So in you go. See you in a minute. Okay, I think that was a great ending to a fun afternoon. Thanks again for hanging out. Thanks for being my friends and just enjoying what I do. Yeah, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna come back and, you know, I'll do more intense, in-depth, I should say, videos about different lands and stuff like that. It'll be fun. But yeah, and I got a bunch of changes coming. I got some merch that I'm working on right now that I should hopefully have available by the next time this video is out. I also have an email address if you want to email me now. It's mttm, more than the mouse, connect@gmail.com. I'm also setting up a phone number, so if you want to leave a voicemail, that's always fun. And who knows, maybe I'd use your voice on the air. I don't know. It's something to do, right? But that's it. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being my friends. I hope you had fun. I definitely did. And God bless you. Remember to do all the likes, subscribes, all the things. I will figure out what side it is one of these days. I think it's here. Pretty sure it's here. But anyways, make sure you do all that stuff. Engage, leave comments, all that stuff. And tell your friends, you know, because we're having fun and we're building. So that's it. Have a great evening. God bless you guys, and we'll see you real soon.